There is one sports team so famous, so instantly recognizable, that its logo can start a fight anywhere on earth. In bars, in stadiums, on street corners, even in places where baseball is almost unknown. Some people wear it with pride, holding their head high as if it says something about who they are. Others see it and instantly feel their jaw tighten. They roll their eyes and mutter a phrase that is heard all over the world. I hate the Yankees. This is not about being a fan, and it is not about being a hater. This is about how one team reached beyond sport and became a symbol, a name that is worn like a badge of honor by some and a warning sign by others. This is about the Yankees and how they became one of the most loved and most hated teams in history. Think about the mark itself. That dark navy blue, those crisp white letters, the interlocked NY. You can see it everywhere. On a table in a crowded street market in Asia, lying between rows of sunglasses and knockoff designer bags. On a subway in London, standing out in a crowd of gray coats as a man adjusts the brim. On the frozen streets of a Canadian winter, pulled down low over the ears of someone who may never have watched a single inning. The Yankees brand travels further than the game itself. It crosses oceans, climbs mountains, and shows up in places where the rules of baseball are unknown. And because it is everywhere, it is impossible to ignore. For some, that logo means history. It means tradition. It means excellence. The very best that the sport can offer. For others, it is hype, it is arrogance, it is the weight of a spotlight that never turns off. One image, two completely different stories. And that, right there, is where the tension begins. The Yankees have a long and undeniable record of winning. They have lifted more trophies than anyone else in their league, and that dominance has stretched across generations. For some, it is inspiring. Proof of what focus, investment, and commitment can achieve. For others, it is exhausting. In sport, people love to see the underdog fight, scrape, and finally win. The Yankees are never the underdog. They are the mountain that everyone else must climb. And for those who do not wear pinstripes, the dream is to see the giant stumble even just once. And yet, the giant rarely stumbles for long. The reason is clear. The Yankees have resources that most clubs can only dream of. They can sign the biggest names in the game, they can keep them for years, and they can build a roster full of players who would be stars anywhere else. To their supporters, this is ambition done right. Build the best, invest in the best, and reap the rewards. To their critics, it is imbalance. It is a tilted game, where one side starts with more pieces on the board. This money debate never goes away. Every time a big player signs in New York, one side smiles, the other side sighs. And every time, the conversation returns to the same question. Is this ambition, or is it unfair advantage? But money is only half the story. The other half is attention. Every move the Yankees make is amplified. A regular season win becomes a national headline. A small slump becomes a media storm. Even when other teams are having incredible seasons, the focus somehow shifts back to New York. To their fans, this is simply recognition. To others, it is proof that the spotlight is locked in place and it will not move, no matter what. Tradition adds another layer. The clean pinstripes, the no-nonsense rules about appearance, the idea that when you put on that uniform, you are part of something larger than yourself. To some, this is a standard to be respected. To others, it is a posture, a performance meant to say, we are different. We are better. And then there are the rivalries. The Yankees have them everywhere. In some cities, a win over New York is celebrated as much as a title. Fans who disagree on almost everything else agree on one thing: beat the Yankees. On those nights, the noise is louder, the signs are bolder, and the energy in the air feels different. For those few hours, New York is not just a team. They are the villain in a story that the home crowd desperately wants to win. Even across borders, that feeling travels. In Canada, there is one major league club. When that club faces the Yankees, the atmosphere changes. People who have not watched a game all year buy tickets or tune in, drawn by the chance to see if the local team can take down the most famous name in the sport. For them, it is more than standings. It is pride against reputation. Go further into the world, and you still see it. A Yankees cap in a street market in Africa. A photograph in a European magazine. A music video shot in South America. In each place, it means something different to the one wearing it, and something else entirely to the one seeing it. The logo's constant presence keeps the name alive, even in places where the game itself is never played. The history of the Yankees adds weight to every conversation. Decades of championships, legendary players, and unforgettable moments have built a shadow that stretches far and wide. Opponents step onto the field knowing they are playing not just a team, but the weight of its history. For supporters, this is pride. For critics, it is pressure they cannot wait to see break. Identity plays its part. People choose teams for personal reasons. Some choose the Yankees because they value the polish, the confidence, and the record of success. Others choose anyone else because they value the grind, the fight, the climb from the bottom. Both choices are as much about self-image as they are about sport. The media makes the divide sharper. The most familiar names get the most airtime. The most successful clubs get the most coverage. The Yankees appear more, so they are talked about more. Their fans celebrate it. Their rivals resent it. But even the resentment feeds the machine. Every conversation, every debate, every complaint keeps the name in the air. And in sport, having a villain is as important as having a hero. The Yankees fill that role, whether they want to or not. They give their fans something to cheer for, and they give their rivals something to rally against. That tension, that push and pull, is why they matter. Strip everything back, and you see it clearly. The Yankees are more than a baseball team. They are a cultural icon, a global brand, and a lightning rod for emotion. They stand for tradition, for excellence, for power, and for the constant debate over what all those things mean. Love them or hate them, they force you to choose. That is why, decades from now, the arguments will still happen. The logo will still start fights in bars, in stadiums, and on street corners. The Yankees will still be more than a team, and people will still be picking a side. Is the freedom to choose who to cheer for, the freedom to hold a view, and the freedom to say it out loud. You can cheer for the Yankees, I can cheer for another club, and even if our views on baseball are different, we can agree on the value of free speech and free thought in Canada and in the United States. Love them or hate them, the Yankees will always make you choose a side. Subscribe now for more stories that challenge the way you see the game.